Yeah. Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Bitcoin's crashing. Get out. You need to sell everything. Put it in tether, man. This it's getting crazy out here. Hey, man. Dog, man, Kel, I'm telling you right now, we need to put everything in tether. This market hasn't bottomed out yet. I think Bitcoin's going to like 5,000. 5,000? Yeah. Man, Bitcoin ain't going to 5,000. Look what happened in Ethereum this morning. This morning, Ethereum was at 570. It dropped down to 492 in seconds. That's scary right there, man. It kind of came back, man, but this market, I don't even call this a bear market. I call this a damn gorilla market.
It's a gorilla market, bitch, to open up 2025. We have no face camera, and hold on, I need to turn this down on the other end right there. Hey, stop that soulful talking, and let's get our nice little camera action going on right here as well. And wait, well, I have a fucking lens on my camera. Very well done. Anyways, welcome back to the Eric Krown Crypto channel. Happy 2025 to all of the enjoyers out there in the world. If it's not 2025 yet in your part of the world, well, fuck you, actually. And well, as we get into today's video, lots of things to be excited for upcoming in this year. Actually, myself and Elsa are going to be going to Florida very, very soon. Well, maybe not super soon, but soon. And that means that I've actually been teaching Elsa. I've been teaching Elsa things about America. I've been giving her an American education. And anyone who is American here, you will know this. And you can also chime in with also other things that you'd like to be educated on or that you think someone should be educated on. But I found a really, really good one recently because Elsa, needs to learn how to communicate with the locals, with the local people in America. And so what we found is a great YouTube channel. It is called English with Collins.
I found it.
You did find it. Elsa was doing her own research. She was doing her own research to figure out, you know, how the fuck am I going to get around in this bitch? And so we found this great channel where this guy, Collins, teaches you how to speak hood. And I will just let it speak for itself.
Now I'm going to give you a couple of phrases that conveys the emotion.
These are phrases of anger to anyone out there. The non-Americans will need to learn this one especially.
In hood, the way they display their anger comes in various forms.
It can come in many forms, it's true. It doesn't look like a Collins, by the way, I will say that.
Now, of course, this is very common because in English in general,
the name is questionable.
Angry, there are certain words that comes out of your mouth. Or, if you're angry, somebody can easily look at you and can tell that you're angry based on your facial expression. This necessarily does not tie to hood only, but I'm just going to show you exactly what
USA Hood English is going to be perfect for Elsa, says James X. Indeed.
Number one,
Asslord says, Gorilla Market, congrats on 200,000. Thank you, sir.
Man, stop playing with me, bro. You keep playing with me,
yeah,
bro.
no playing.
Stop playing with me.
Stop it.
Stop playing with me.
Stop playing with me.
Man, stop playing with me. The pronunciation will be, man, stop playing with me. With me. Stop playing with me.
With me.
Stop playing with me.
Stop playing with me.
So when they say stop playing, remember, you do not hear.
And this is what we're going to be focusing on going into 2025. Correct pronunciations and learning something new. That's a New Year's resolution. In fact, I've been looking at all sorts of things on social media too, and we'll get to the analysis soon enough, but I do want to give people some time to join in. I actually realize that it's still pretty damn early right now, 380 people watching. So let's give it a little bit of time because I do expect that, well, it could be an interesting one today. At least there is a lot of interesting things, obviously, because there is a new monthly, but I was on social media earlier this morning. Terrible habit to do it early on in the morning, but I came across MM Crypto's video, which was actually super interesting. I think he flew down to Florida himself, and he went to Michael Saylor's 100K party. Where was my fucking invite, huh? Anyways, apparently he was speaking with someone who's directly involved with the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. That whole meme that's going on in America, and it seems like it actually is quite likely to happen, I mean, I guess it's not like a big surprise, but I didn't think Trump would lie about that. But at the same time, it's like kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. But there was something very, very interesting that he said, or that the guy that he was interviewing said, which was, the United States already owns a shit ton of Bitcoin. They just so the idea is not necessarily for the U.S. government to go out and like buy a shit ton of Bitcoin. It's just to kind of say that, hey, we're going to save this Bitcoin over here, and we're not going to fucking spend it. We're just going to use it as a reserve, I guess. Which actually makes a lot more sense to me, because the U.S. government just getting on fucking like Coinbase and buying Bitcoin, I don't know, that doesn't seem right to me. And I by the way, I said it a couple weeks ago on one of the live streams. I'll say it again. Crypto, great friend, and in this cycle and last cycle, I mean, the guy might be the best public investor of all time, long-term investor at least, because he's had these massive fucking positions that he holds for, in some cases, I guess years, and he does it all publicly at like super high numbers as well. I mean, it's just fucking insane, man. Like, I don't know where he gets the balls for that, especially when you're like a public person, and anyone can just anyone can do with that information as they will, but yeah, man. He's had a damn good cycle, and so you're too cool to go to such things. I mean, I guess I've never really been invited to those sort of things anyways, because I'm not really, I guess I'm like a little bit too far away from that scene. Not that I don't like it or nothing like that. It's just, I guess I'm not really included there, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll have our own party anyways. Yeah, he is a wild dude. He's a wild dude. But one of those people that I think most people would absolutely love. Anyways, I'm so excited for Project 2025. What the fuck is that, sir? Don't get too excited. It's all talk so far. I mean, yeah, of course, until it actually gets signed and we actually see it happening in real time, it's always going to be a question mark. But it does seem like there is some legitimate things behind it, and it's not just like an idea. There is actually action towards it already, which I thought was, I guess, to me, a little bit surprising, that happening, so soon and already. And apparently several states also preparing their own legislation to, I guess, have their own strategic reserve, which is super interesting too. I guess that whole game theory of holding Bitcoin kind of, I guess, is playing out, which is fucking cool, man. Anyways. Indeed, man. Indeed. Yeah. I can also say, not only is Crypto a cool guy, but I've actually learned something pretty fucking massive from him, which probably made me the most profit I've ever made in my life in a single year, which is just fucking hold. Just fucking hold. Up until about 2022, I was never really a holder. But after speaking with Chris and after, watching his whole journey, cause he went, cause look, I knew this guy back in, I knew him back in like 2018, 2019, when, he had a pretty small channel, relatively speaking, similar to mine. I mean, both of us were quite small, and then he just fucking exploded like crazy over the next few years. And after that, I was like, okay, you know what? I think I can learn something here. and so that actually did massively help. It's hard to beat, Bitcoin. What's up, Jessica? Happy fucking New Year to you as well. Jessica lives in San Diego, I think. It's like totally doxing you, but go fucking get her. But I do want to say San Diego still probably, I mean, if things were perfect, San Diego would not be in California and we would move there. There would be no problem. It would be absolutely beautiful. It would be absolutely amazing, but we can't do that. Can't do that because of Californians, the insufferable Californians. Florida is like the Siberia of the USA, but hot. Well, the good thing is that we're not going to be there during the hot times. Actually, luckily, we will still be here in Finland during the summers. Yes, come find me in San Diego. No problem at all. But yeah, we'll be over in that part of the world as well. Like I said, in May, we're going to do, or hopefully, I mean, you never know until contracts are signed and whatnot, but hopefully we're going to do a nice boxing match in Vegas, which will be super, super cool, because I know a lot of people here in this community are Americans, and it'd be cool to actually do it, in my home country, for once after all these years. Yeah, taxes in California are no-go. It is pretty insane. I mean, if you're at like the top tax rate, I think California themselves will tax you like 11, 12, 13%, something like that. It's just insane, man. So, I mean, if you're at like the top tax rate, you're paying close to 40% federal and then another 12, 13% for California, plus everything else, you know, plus, you know, your fucking sales tax when you go and buy something. I mean, I don't know, man. It seems like we're taxed to death at this point, to be honest. But we will go on anyways. Chris from Crypto, maybe the Bitcoin peer. I'm really glad to see, actually, there's a lot of Crypto appreciators here. You know, he got a bad rap a few years ago, but honestly, I think it was undeserved. Like, I get it. People get very triggered by clickbait content on YouTube, but you have to understand, you know, if you're going to be on YouTube and you actually, you know, want to be successful at YouTube, you got to play the YouTube game. That's just the price you have to pay to play the game, unfortunately. I don't really think any YouTubers really, honestly, even like that. That game. I mean, you know, with doing the whole like fucking O face and shit and all of this clickbaity stuff, but it is what it is, man. They do it because it works, or we do it because it works. And I've been learning how to do it better as well recently too. Hopefully with backed up information as well. We love taxes here. Everyone loves getting taxed. It's great, man. It's great. Commies reign is over, says, drop some fire in the Cave Tunes if you guys want to check it out. That is right. If you do want to check out our Discord, you can find a link to it in the description below. It's 100% free to join on in, and you can check out Cave Tunes from my man, Commies reign is over. Who the fuck is that? Yes, people were spitting on him. I don't know if people are actually spitting on him, but again, I mean, he has probably the best public investment track record of anyone ever. I mean, at like the highest level, you know, with like big numbers, not including like actual fucking hedge funds and shit like that. But yeah, best way to cash out a milli, says KD. First, make a milli, then profit. I don't know, man. Just ask your bank to give it to you in dollar bills. They'll love that. They'll definitely do that too. Best way to cash it out would probably be not to cash it out like that, because I mean, if you can, okay, this is not tax advice, but if you can delay some of it so that, you know, maybe you don't pay the full fucking tax burden on all of it, and maybe you pull it like 100,000, 200,000 at a time, so that you're, I think, in like the second or third highest brackets, then I don't know, you might save yourself a little bit of money, because if you do pull out just $1 million, I mean, you basically just gave half of it to the government, really. I mean, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Congrats on 200,000 followers. Fuck yeah, man. I appreciate that. It's been a hell of a journey here. We started doing these videos back in 2018. So this is year number 6. No, this is year number 7, actually, that we're going on. Yeah, fucking crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy. But it doesn't feel like we've been doing it that long at all. Honestly, it really doesn't. Anyways. Anderson77 says, Soloway mentioned this morning he thinks the Bitcoin top is in for 2025. I mean, that's great that he has an opinion. I pretty much put it on the same value as any random person's opinion that I walk through, or sorry, that I walk past in the city of Helsinki, Finland at 6 a.m. in the morning, which is not much. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I do think that there are some concerning things here, as we'll get into today's video. I was actually having a much more clickbaity title before this current one, but you know, we can actually start it off right here. I mean, we got about 600 people watching right now. I understand that most people are probably having a life. They're probably going out, you know, in partying and shit like that. Elsa and I did not do that. We went to bed at actually 10 last night, which was a very late night for us, by the way. Anyways. We didn't even stay up. Well, I was up at midnight because there was fucking fireworks going on like crazy right outside our window. Actually, we even did our own fireworks too. The crazy thing about Finland is that despite all of the rules and regulations for many, many things, and just the overall, insufferableness of the like the vegan no meat crew, these sort of people. I'm not saying like all of them are like this, but they're a lot like this. Like the short hair, colored hair, you know, vegan. They look like they haven't eaten much. You know, these sort of people. You know, these sort of people. They also, Elsa says there's also people who look like they've had too much. Yes, there's also people who need to put the fucking fork down. But despite all of that, fireworks are legal here, and you can go to the mall and get whatever the fuck you want in spades. And so we did. We tested it out last night. It was actually super fun. Didn't blow off any of my hands, so I think that was a win, and it was a good time. It was a good time indeed. It's only once a year. All right. I think it's time for me to get into the actual analysis of the day. I need to get my notes ready on over here. And let me see, where exactly do I want to start this one? Yeah, actually, I'll start it off over on this chart. So, despite Bitcoin, more or less closing unchanged to finish off the year, the higher term time frame look doesn't really change for me. However, and actually even the medium and lower term time frame looks don't really change here either. But I did want to call out just one more thing that does suggest that Bitcoin is very likely to find its corrective targets lower than where it's currently at right now, and hopefully early on within the month of January. What I want to focus on right here is this moving average cross. It's again the very fucking simplistic piece of analysis, but this will actually serve you quite well if you use this in the future. But the red 5 exponential moving average and the yellow 21 exponential moving average, the crossover effect when you're in an uptrend and you see the 5 cross below the 21. Every fucking time in Bitcoin's history on the daily, you've seen at minimum, a correction to the green moving average right here. In many cases, it does go a little bit lower than that. Also, in many cases, it does stop right around there. But at minimum, you do see a correction down around there. I'll give you a few examples of this. A lot of the time, you see this happen while it's actually already tested the green moving average. But, you have an example right here. Boom, crosses. Obviously, it already tested. Same thing over here. It's all happening simultaneously. Same thing over here. This one comes down and then obviously does trade lower than that. Same thing over here. This one does come down to the 55 bounce. And then actually does go lower as well. Same thing over here, boom, down, correct, and same thing. You get where I'm going with this. Same shit over here, and onwards and forwards, or onwards and backwards, I guess. So at some point, Bitcoin extremely likely to test this region, which right now on CME is about $89,000 or just below $89,000. CME is actually not trading today. The U.S. stock market has an actual day off. So we won't actually, we probably don't see this today, but very likely, I would say in the next week, we do see somewhere down around there, which would be your $88,000 to $89,000 target. Obviously, CME does have a premium over spot price action. So, where does spot end up or find itself during something like that? Well, probably a little bit lower than that, like $87,000, $88,000. Still the same areas that we have been looking at over the past few days here for a corrective target to open up 2025. If we go to the monthly look, we can see on the monthly time frame with the new tick right here, the 5 exponential has risen up quite significantly. As we said yesterday, was rather likely. It's not just likely. It's just a mathematical equation, going from about 81,500 now to 86,000, or just below 86,000. Sorry, actually, it's about 85,500 bucks. And at some point we do expect a reconnect with this red moving average right here as well. Again, anytime that you are in trending markets, Bitcoin likes to kind of base off of that reconnect before playing out its continuous move. So if we are looking at this market as likely to continue to new highs at some point in 2025, we would expect first a reconnect with this 5 exponential moving average right here, which again brings us into the mid, maybe upper 80s. Obviously, it doesn't need to get exactly to there, even if it comes down to like 88 or 87 and then bounces rather hard, it will get pulled up into that region nonetheless. But here's the thing. For a lot of the people who are looking for this rally, this bull market to continue into or deep into 2025, one of the major criteria is just remaining above that red 5 exponential moving average. So while I do think that we're going to come down and test it, you definitely want to see a bounce before end of month here. Where would you need to see a bounce before end of month in order to be blindly bullish, looking for some pretty significant targets to the upside? Well, I think the monthly HPDR answers this question quite well right here. You do see that the last month was certainly a rejection of the median, and now the median's actually come down to just under, or sorry, actually, it is about $99,500, $99,500. So if Bitcoin can actually close above that region, which by the way would be this last lower high that we see right here from, I think it was about a week ago or a week or two ago. Seems like it was so long ago, but it was actually a week ago right here. Yeah. As long as Bitcoin's below there, yeah, there's still problems. There's actually, a potential for some of these like mega bears to be right, I guess, as long as Bitcoin's below there. Personally, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think Bitcoin is going to bounce and actually reclaim that region. But if and when you do see Bitcoin take out this last lower high and also reclaim the monthly HPDR over here, let's just call it $100,000. It's a little bit of an easier round number and also a good psychological number as well. At that point, I do expect Bitcoin to put in a pretty significant rally. Now, there's also a new thing here on the monthly HPDR. While the median did come down, also did the 38.2 level to the upside and the 50% levels as well, as you would expect. And these are kind of like my max targets for this cycle in like with the most bull goggles on. And of course, this will update each and every month, but as of right now, the 38.2 level is $163,000. The 50% level is $198,000. So that would be like my most bull goggles targets that I could possibly have for this cycle, in the, I guess, sometime this year, I suppose. But as long as Bitcoin is below the median right here, there is no threat of a major upside move. My personal opinion is that it will reclaim it at some point, hopefully before February, but time will tell. Time will tell, of course. Moving on from there, we should go check out stochastic momentum. I think that there's a couple of very interesting things right here as well. The monthly is actually in danger of crossing the downside. The new pivot, however, has moved down, if you remember from yesterday's video, to today's new monthly open. It went down from about, I think it was $94,000 to $89,850. So again, Bitcoin could play out a short-term correction, or it's already correcting, but Bitcoin could extend this correction further south, could dip into the mid/upper 80s, but it just needs to close above this region in order to keep the Bulaw's hopes alive. But again, looking at the monthly stochastic oscillator right here, not at some point, but sorry, not at some point, but I can't phrase a sentence together. I did not sleep well last night. This fucking fireworks at midnight were destroying me. Absolutely fucking destroyed. Okay, I'll try again. Okay. So at this point, I don't really expect the monthly stochastic oscillator to remain in the critical region, for super long. That's why I do think that this current phase of the rally really does have kind of a limited shelf life. If we compare it to last times where we've actually seen the monthly stochastic oscillator in the critical zone, it's already, I think, outweighing the most long one that we've ever seen already, which was back here from 2017. This one, it stayed about a year in the critical zone, and for what it's worth right now, it entered the critical zone November of 2023, and now obviously we're in January. So a little bit longer than that prior one. Again, I do think that it can extend here a little bit more, but this is another reason why I do think that this cycle at least sees a major correction, like a significant correction, relatively soon, like within the next quarter or two. And maybe even the cycle high. And my personal opinion is that it will be the cycle high. But yeah, anyways, moving on from there as well, we should go check out the bi-monthly. The bi-monthly is just kind of a bit of a cheat code here in terms of just looking for the bi-monthly stochastic oscillator to turn to the downside. I've marked off all of the prior times that we've actually seen that happen in Bitcoin's history, and these do correlate incredibly well with prior highs, especially in terms of timing. So as of right now, this pivot has moved, I believe up from yesterday to today. It is now at 90,000. Now, again, this is a bi-monthly time frame, so it doesn't close at the end of January. It closes at the end of February, but that would again imply that Bitcoin must remain above 90,000 by end of January, or sorry, by end of February. If that condition is not met, that would be a fucking significant warning flag for me. But as it stands, Bitcoin more or less closing the year out on the highs. I look at this as still long-term decent, and likely we have not seen the actual high in just yet. I don't think that this 6 month right here is going to be an actual top, nor does the yearly time frame look like a top as well. But when we do look for reconnects with the 5 exponential, things theoretically, they could very easily come down into the upper 70s. I know that target would fulfill what a lot of people are looking for. So perhaps that does happen. But again, my personal opinion is that Bitcoin will have an extension of this correction into the upper 80s. Likely find a big bounce there. If that bounce brings Bitcoin back above $100,000, to me, that's confirmation that this market is going to be zooming again to the upside, with targets 120, 140, 160, something like that. But for right now, we get to open up this new year on a bit of a correction, and again, I would say extremely high probability of Bitcoin at some point meeting this green moving average right here on the daily for CME. Anytime that we've seen, again, that red 5 cross below the yellow 21, you get a correction down there if it already hasn't happened as well, by the way. Minimum. So I would be looking for that to continue to play out, but should also be a bouncy region as well. So potential for a bit of a trap when a lot of people are looking at this as a head and shoulders, which it does work out as one. Head and shoulders as a bearish formation in a bullish market. These things typically do not work out very, very well. You can look at Bitcoin's past prior market cycles for evidence of that. But as it stands right now, it is in place, and well, we shall see. Anyways, I will get now to the comments. Let's see what we got over here. Elsa's been saving a bunch of shit for me, and I realized that I think I have turned off too many sounds or something. I don't know what's going on over here. Oh, that's right. That's what I did. Okay, I goofed up on one of my things. Okay. Elsa says, "Don't do it. Don't do it." Is that hood speak as well? Anyways, let's get over here to some of these comments. I see Nick A says, "Congrats on 200,000. Appreciate it, my man. It's fucking insane." I mean, again, this channel started in such a, in hindsight, very, very weird place. It started from a fucking bodybuilding miscellaneous forum on the internet called the Bodybuilding Myths section. And it was all sorts of very interesting people, usually with avatars of them not wearing shirts, talking about cryptocurrencies. and that's where it started. and because I used to go on this forum for like actual weightlifting advice. And then that started going on, and well, I was giving out my analysis there, and then I said, "Fuck this! Writing this shit out takes way too long. I should just record a video." And then, well, people started listening, I guess. Crazy stuff, man! Absolutely crazy stuff. Mac says reploy, symbol RAI. Okay, let's see what the hell this thing is. Looks like a new one to me. I've never seen this one before. Also, a very bizarre and interesting chart here that mostly goes sideways and down. I'm never going to like something like this. There's also not a whole hell of a lot of history here as well. I mean, well, actually, sorry. Okay, there's actually a lot of history here. It goes back to 2021. It's bad. It's very bad for the history that it has. Like, but again, do you trust a chart that looks like this? I don't really. Of course, there's a pretty odd. It looks like a stable coin is what it looks like, honestly. I guess it's not, because it moves quite a bit for a stable coin, so it wouldn't be a good stable coin. But as long as it's below about 315. Nothing doing to the upside, no threat of an uptrend at all whatsoever. To the downside, I mean, it is kind of trending down, but hasn't really made a whole hell of a lot of way there. Let me see what the regular scale looks like. Yeah, it's not a super interesting chart to me. If I had to call it, I'd say you're probably going to see more down from here. Again, heavily bearish. I shouldn't say heavily bearish, but bearish as long as you're below this last high right here, 315, 316-ish region. All right. Let's see. Martin Hunt says, "Happy New Year, sir." Good New Year to you as well, sir. Can you take a look at Fartcoin on the daily? Okay. My farts. I don't think it's actually on TradingView. Oh, no, it is on TradingView. Okay. All right. There we go. That would have been off. Okay. Actually, compared to the last chart we looked like, the last chart was shit. This one is fart. Fart much better than shit. I mean, good. Look, here is your last high or low. I'm bullish as long as you are above whatever your 30th of December's low was, which was about 75 cents. I'd be looking for this one to retest about 120. Probably just continue on with the overall mega trend there. We're going to see momentum on the daily switch back onto the upside, by the way, as well. Assuming that today closed above 92 cents. This one is already above 102. So yeah, I'd say that this one very likely retest the highs. Probably even just makes new highs on something like this, I guess. Very limited history here, to be fair, but the trend is your friend, and as long as you're above, again, 75 cents, the trend is intact to the upside. So all good. Anyways, moving on, we have Peter McArdle. He says, sending this to get a shout out, but watching you over the years, you'll probably ignore it or tell me to fuck off. What? Why? Why would you think that, man? You must have this idea that I'm like some sort of massive asshole or something. Happy New Year to you as well, man. And let's shout him out. Peter McArdle, we're shouting you out. Now, how do we say that in hood speak? What it do? I also like that one. Anima says, AI, you tripping, bruh. Yeah, that's right. You are tripping. You sound like you're tripping. Anyways, moving on, we have Anima. He's looking at AI 16Z. Looks very similar to the last chart that we just looked at. Stronger than the last chart that we just looked at as well. Also extremely new here too. So always have to say, don't trust new charts all that much, but hey, if you're looking at the trend, at least on the 4-hour time frame, as long as you're above, let's call it 155, the direction is up, sir. And this one, is getting pretty hot here. You are starting to see many extremes on 4-hour BBWP. It is a 4-hour time frame after all, so it's like, you kind of do expect that on these moves. But 4-hour stochastic momentum is actually working its way back up into the critical zone. I think that you got one more stint up here and then a probably bigger correction to follow. If it doesn't already happen, which again would be notified by coming back down below 155 at that point, probably looking at corrective targets towards 120, 125. But until then, I think that you're more likely to have one more move to the upside here. Just not much of a chart to be going off of in terms of history, unfortunately. Stefan Milicevic says, Happy New Year's and congrats on 200,000. Thank you very much, man. That was very kind. Ben, following a couple years and appreciate all the great insight and analysis. Thanks, man. That's awesome. Wishing you and Elsa lots of happiness, health, and prosperity in 2025. It's just a nice, positive message. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. And to you as well, sir. And to everyone here, except for... I don't know. Should I pick someone out? Except for you. X-Rent. One fart equals one fart. That's right. It has not lost any value. X-Rent says, Happy New Year, sir. Coin Daily Weekly. Yeah, oh shit. This was also supposed to be part of my analysis. So a couple things here that I did forget to mention in my Bitcoin analysis, and then I'll include Coinbase in this as well. But Coinbase actually breaking down. So the last couple months we've had an area of interest that would denote a breakdown below 275. This one actually did take it out 2 weeks ago. And it's now continuing to the downside. To me, that is a bad sign for Bitcoin. We typically expect these things kind of trade hand in hand. If one shows strength, the other one should be showing strength as well. And with Coinbase breaking down, I do look at that as kind of boding not well for Bitcoin, as well as MicroStrategy here. We'll go back to Coinbase in just a second, but I do want to complete the point with MicroStrategy. Very, very similar to chart to Coinbase over the last few months. And in this one, very likely to come a little bit lower before it does try for a bounce. I expect that this one will see somewhere down around, low 200s, like 220-ish region. That would actually make a lot of sense to me. But again, breaking down before Bitcoin, I do think does bode well, or bode poorly, I guess, for Bitcoin. Also breaking down, we did see MicroStrategy lead to the upside when back on over here in October. MicroStrategy actually broke the prior all-time highs. Obviously, Bitcoin did not follow until November 5th, very specifically. So about a month before. I think we also saw MicroStrategy top out earlier in 2021 as well. Yeah, back in February of 2021, Bitcoin obviously followed a couple months later for the first time, and then about 6 months later for the final time, I suppose. But yeah, it has been a harbinger of what's to come in the past. So I do think that kind of warrants a bit of interest there. Again, it doesn't mean that things are going to reverse for fucking forever, but they can easily come down a little bit more here and set up for a bounce. I think at minimum you see MicroStrategy at like 260, 265, and then if it does dip a little bit lower, then I'd probably be looking somewhere around like 220-ish region. But yeah, we will see. Anyways, going back to Coinbase, which was the original question, I do think that Coinbase will come a little bit lower at at least before a bounce, probably closer to about 230, 235 region, somewhere around there. I do think you're in for a little bit of a short-term bounce there, but it's going to be very telling if Bitcoin can actually hold that or not, because if Bitcoin does break down further below 235, I would be looking for a full-on gap fill here and Bitcoin to come down actually below 200, closer to like 190 to 195 region before the next sort of bounce attempt. And I wouldn't necessarily just blindly say that that's a bounce that's going to continue upwards and onwards to new highs from there. But for right now, Coinbase is, it did not confirm the breakout that I really want to see it confirm coming into this new year. That would be back above your November of 2021 highs. Obviously, it has sold off on that first pass from it. We do expect something like that, but I don't want to see it correct too much more here. Otherwise, it really will call into question a lot of the things that we've been looking at for Coinbase over the past couple of years now. And personally, I can tell you exactly what I'd do, because I do have public investments in the stock market, and actually I will be forced to sell. I won't be forced to sell, but I will happily sell. If it does come back down below that region. Until then, I'm still riding the trend, still looking for this one to likely continue upwards and to the right. Monthly stochastic momentum could turn up, not this month, obviously, but perhaps at the end of January. Pivot is getting quite close here, but let's see what it opens up when we get the real stock market trading tomorrow. Like moving on from there, let me get back to my comments over here. There we go. We have Krown Jeremy says, can you check out MicroStrategy? It's like I read your mind. MicroStrategy, I didn't check out the daily. I do think that this one will try for a short-term bounce very, very soon at like 275-ish region. I just don't think that bounce is going to reverse this thing. I think that bounce rolls over, and this one does see, at some point 220, maybe even lower than that. This... give it at least a chance to bounce at like 265 first, because if that bounce does start to reclaim back above 350, that's going to look pretty fucking bullish long term. But we'll see. No matter where I'm kind of looking on this one, I do think at least in the short term it does come lower. So yeah, fair enough. Anyways, moving on, let me get back to my my chats right here. We have Mr. L2IP. He says, can you review Mara? Can I review Mara? I can look at it if that's what you mean. Oops, I must put in the USD there as well, because I'm so accustomed to shitcoins. But again, another thing, this is a Bitcoin miner, I believe. And I think they also kind of are copying to some extent MicroStrategy's strategy, I suppose. And in this one, also breaking down, obviously, a weaker chart than both MicroStrategy and Coinbase. As you can see, it's progressed a lot deeper in this current, pullback, or if you want to call it that. This is it's a pretty massive move for a stock, about 45% in not so long of a time over the course of like a month or two. I do think it'll come a little bit lower here before it does try for at least a bounce. Maybe $16 or so. That's where you really want to see it hold if this thing is going to be bullish. A lot of the Bitcoin corollary charts, I can make some pretty nasty cases for. At the end of the day, I think it's best to be looking at the asset at hand if you want to, be trading that. But it is interesting to see that all these corollaries showing relative weakness, especially to close out the year. I don't look at that as like a great sign, but should try for a bounce relatively soon. I'd say somewhere between like $15.5, $16 or so. So it's almost there. It's just, does that bounce reverse this trend? Doesn't look too hot to me, man. Doesn't look too hot. By the way, another thing that I forgot to mention, because I didn't have my notes properly set for the initial analysis, but something else that I wanted to check out was actually Bitcoin versus the yen, which is, where's my Bitcoin yen chart? It's right here. Something interesting about this, which the yen chart has actually been has actually shown us like more obvious signals in the past as well. But I did think that it was rather interesting that the yen chart did close positively for the month. Now it's not like a super strong read here or anything like that. It's still kind of a shooting star dildo, but we do see that monthly stochastic momentum is bouncing off of the critical zone, which is what you would expect. If things are going to kind of base off here and try a little bit higher. But this is a very exhausted read. In the grand scheme of things. Again, got into this region more than a year ago, November of 2023. And this one will actually very likely continue up. Yeah, above 13, 13,329,000 yens. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine like buying anything with yen? Do you just have to bring fucking wheelbarrows of cash everywhere? Like, Japanese people are cool as hell, but they haven't figured out their fucking currency. I'll tell you that. Anyways, I'll get back on the comments here. Yeah, Bitcoin versus yen chart looks a lot better to me than Bitcoin versus dollar, or at least a little bit more obvious. Still, even then though, the Bitcoin yen chart still very likely to correct or reconnect with that red moving average at some point this month. I'd say latest next month, but very likely this month. Just want to see it bounce there. That's the big thing. All right, back onto my comments over here, and we have we have Matt Gall. Is it Matt Gill or Matt Gall? Matt Gall. He says, "Fuck yeah, Krown. Happy New Year, mate. Happy New Year to you as well, mate. What's your take on general markets? S&P has the perfect jewel sell signal in the 3-day time frame. Let's check it out. Let's see. I'm going to look at SPY futures here. Should be more or less the same thing. We are seeing momentum turn down on the monthly, but well, it actually is coming in from a very, very high level. So yeah, that actually is a little bit. Actually, that is concerning here. I haven't looked at traditional markets in a while, but yeah, will move down as long as it's below 6,000. Looking at weekly, short term, short term over the next week or two, very, very likely to see at least 58.50. I guess if I guess if things are going to end up bullish, you would expect to bounce there, but what happens if you actually break below 58.50? At that point, I think you have to be looking for a much deeper correction, perhaps down around about 5650, 5700-ish region, probably fill this gap over here from September of this year. That'd be a pretty nasty correction to kind of start this year off on. But yeah, I mean, there's your lower high. It's already on the last prior low. So it is very, very close to completing the reversal here. If you're more of an aggressive trader, you'd say that this one's already reversed. So, I do think that it'll at minimum come down, at least towards like 5850-ish region. But in the most optimistic sense, we'd expect a big bounce there. Although, looking at this, I mean, I think this could very easily correct much, much deeper. So fair enough. Anyways, Anima says, could you please provide your outlook for Solana during Q1 and Q2? Well, here's my outlook. It'll do mostly whatever Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin moves to the upside, Solana will move up as well, maybe a little bit more. If Bitcoin moves to the downside, Solana will very likely move more to the downside relative to Bitcoin. But looking at Solana just on its own merits right here, let's look at the monthly. Did not close below that red 5 exponential and did reconnect with it. So if you are going to be bullish on this thing, must hold here. Otherwise, next corrective target is going to be back down to 135, 140-ish region. Momentum on the monthly has crossed to the downside and will remain downside angled as long as this thing's below 202. So I would say line in the sand just above $200. As long as you are below about $200, especially on a higher term time frame closing basis, call it like a weekly, and perhaps I move that. About 202, 203 on a weekly time frame. If you can reclaim that region, that's going to look a lot more like this thing will continue on to the upside in the next coming months. Could easily see like 350, 400, I suppose, upon continuation. But just be aware that if this thing breaks down, like it's a long way down. It's a long way down. And how would I define a breakdown here on a lower time frame than a monthly? It's not a great way of doing this, unfortunately, just with the way that the daily and weekly look like. But I would say weekly closure below the low of December 20th, which is about 170. Yeah, I think that you do break down. You'll confirm like an actual breakdown at minimum, see like 135-ish region with potential for more, maybe even down to like 110. But until then, in the most hopium of scenarios, it will hold pretty much right here without, maybe retest this low, but does not fall below it, on a closing basis at least. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully that was helpful, sir. But yeah, I will say that this thing is poised to break down here. I mean, you got a silver cross to the downside and you're seeing daily stochastic momentum work its way up while price action is, while price action is not sitting in a low, it is just going sideways after a very anemic bounce. So, that's that's more likely to break down, in the short term and at least retest this low over here. The hopium again is that you have a nice big heroic bounce from that low. Okay, very nice. Very nice indeed. That was interesting. Maco Max says, can you please do peak, P-E-A-Q? All right, let's see. P-E-A-Q. All right. Yeah, man, it's best for you to give me like the exact ticker if you want me to look at something. Otherwise, I can fuck things up. But yeah, looking at this, good. At least good for the history that we do have. I do look at this one as putting in yet another higher low right here, and very likely to work its way back up towards these range highs, which is essentially 61 cents region. Does it break above there on this current rally? Maybe, I don't know. Volatility says that it could, but I'd want to see a daily closure above about 61.5 cents at that point. I'd be looking for a retest of the prior all-time highs, probably new all-time highs from there. But one thing before the next, obviously. And of course, if for whatever reason it actually does come down and break below about 46 cents, this thing's going to get absolutely fucking crushed. But until then, this thing has more signs of at least testing short-term upside and a little bit of hopium on top of that as well. So we shall see, sir. TJ says, bonk on the daily and weekly. Bonk. Bonk. Bonk it. Bonk. Bonk. Bonk and donk. Need more water, sirs and zers. Another one very similar to, I think it was Solana that we looked at, look very weak on the daily here. Like, this is not a strong read. It's almost the exact same indications as what we see on Solana, where you see the daily stochastic oscillator traveling all the way up to the edge of the bearish control zone on. This is not a bounce. I mean, it is an attempt at a bounce. It's a very anemic bounce, but you're spinning your wheels there and getting fucking nowhere. And so this to me is a bearish reset. This one very likely does come down, and I would say probably retest the wick low from December 20th. If you start to see it close below that low, which is some godforsaken number that is I can't see, it's like 2,500 or so, this thing's gonna get absolutely fucking shredded. Probably another 10-20%, but for right now, I'd probably be expecting another retest of that low. And if you are bullish, a heroic bounce from that low. But I wouldn't be getting too excited about this thing as long as, long term, as long as you're below 4,000 region. Above 4,000, okay, this starts to look like the next sort of macro higher low. But again, another chart here that I could easily make a top call for, but I'm not going to right now. Yeah. Still, give it a chance to bounce first. We'll see if the bounce actually does anything of of interest. All right, let's see what else we got. Actually, that was the last one, but I see Theo Zio over there. He has left a super chat, but no comment. Hurrah! He just says hurrah. What's up, Theo? Theo's actually been making some of the shorts that I've released on this channel over the past year. I haven't released too many, but but they've been fun whenever we've done them. So yeah, man, actually I'll stay over here for the regular chats as well. Let's see. Maco Max says Krown. Sorry, Peak is a new Deepin project. What the fuck? Deepin? Is that like the new marketing thing? And will blow up still early. I will tell you how early we are, if you think that we're early. When I went to my gym yesterday, and I go to in Helsinki, a very commercial, normie sort of gym, okay? It's called Elixia. It's like, these are not like fucking financial experts. These are mostly like early 20-something kids who think they're absolutely fucking jacked despite being incredibly small. And for whatever reason, there's a fucking epidemic of people in Helsinki who go to the gym just to walk on a fucking treadmill. It's like, oh my God, like what are you doing? Like, fucking sweat, you lazy cunt. Kidding. But but in that gym, when I went to the restroom there to take a nice meaty shit, I looked at the towel dispenser, and there was a shitcoin shill for some sort of shitcoin meme on that. Are we fucking early? I don't think so, man. I don't think so at all. I think we're quite late. I think we're quite late in this game, honestly, man. If there's a fucking shitcoin shill in the bathroom of my commercial ass gym in Helsinki, fucking Finland, I have to say we're probably very late right now. Please check out Mogcoin. Should 2025 see new highs? Well, as you know, memes are the most highly respected coins out there in the world. Again, another thing that I can easily make a top call for here. Do not like the way that's broken down over the past 2 weeks, especially. I do think that this one will reach lower before the next sort of attempt at a bounce, like, a higher term time frame bounce. I think it comes down to like 16,000 or something, maybe even all the way down to like 13,000 if things get really crazy, but that's pretty far away right now. Month, I mean, this could very easily be your top right here, man. Does it move to new highs? I think there will be a high in 2025. Will it be a new high above 2024's high? That is a good question. I think this one goes lower first before anything else. I want to see a big fucking bounce off of 16 or 17,000. And if that bounce reclaims like 30,000, then yeah, you'll see new all-time highs. Until then, I would actually say this one has a top in for a very long time, and a lot more likely to move to the downside here than not. I'll put it over on this chart too. I'm sure there's like significant drives of bearish divergence on our higher term timeframes. Yeah, here's our 10-day time frame. 1, 2, 3 drives coming off these last few highs here. I mean, yeah, this thing can correct a lot more. I wouldn't be talking about new all-time highs, man. I'd be talking about coming down. That's what I'd be saying. Anyways, Big Bull says Aave USD. Okay, Aave USD. All right, let's check out this one. Oops, there we go. Some DeFi thing from 2020. And holding it up relatively well than the last few charts that we've looked at. But if Bitcoin comes down, could we expect this one to not follow suit as well? I mean, that's not usually the winning position. If this thing does come down to like 275, I'd want to see a big bounce there. That's kind of where I'd be at on this one. Monthly time frame, I like. So yeah, if it does come down to like 275 or even 255, I'd just look at that as a reconnect with that red 5 exponential moving average, and still set it up for likely trying higher over the next month or two, maybe back down, maybe back around 450 or so. Because this is obviously a much different chart than what we just looked at for the past few memes. So that does show that some things do have relative strength. But even then, in the short term, do I think it corrects more to the downside? I do think it is more likely to correct more to the downside first. Before trying that upside move. So, most things look corrective to me to open up 2025, which again would be sort of a part of the bullish roadmap that we've been kind of having, on this channel for 2025. If things are going to indeed be bullish, we do expect a pullback first in 2025 rather than a bounce first in 2025. Anyways, moving on. Big Bull is back. He's looking at Hype USD. Okay. Hype. Is this hyper liquid? Yeah, it is. I've been seeing a lot about this on social media from people that I don't typically see post about. It's on the social medias. Again, major top here, major top. I don't know what this thing is or what it does, but a lot of people that I respect really, really seem to like it. And maybe it ends up being good like long term, but in the short term, I think that this one breaks down a lot more, man. I think it comes down below $20. Probably close to like 19, 18 bucks. From there, we don't really have the chart history to really say anything more than that. So I'll hold off on any further comments. I will watch out my comments, bro. Lucas says Beam USD. All right, let's check it out. Beam, some nameless shitcoin from prior years. And let's see what we have on, I guess, MEXC. Mexico Exchange. Okay, so look, I don't like anything that looks like this long term, but you do have a monthly higher low in here. You certainly do not have a monthly higher high, but I mean, if anything, actually, I do think that it does come down in the short term. You do have potential for hidden bearish divergence here between this point here from March of this past year to this point here. And, you know, that's a high that was significantly higher than the current high of 8 cents. So I'd say this one's actually more likely to pull back first, but hopefully for your sake, if you are long this thing, it does not make new lows below, you know, your 2024 lows, and the higher low in the monthly does hold. And, after it comes down a little bit, it does try another move to the upside. The only other way that I get bullish on it is if you reclaim actually December's high. If you can trade above December's high, okay, I'm wrong. It's bullish. Get ready for a move towards 20 cents plus, probably 30 cents. But until then, I think short term is a little bit more likely to come to the downside here. Clip R Backer says TrueFi on the weekly. Okay, True Financial, TrueFi. Symbol TRU. Okay, actually, thank you for specifying the exact symbol, because if you don't specify the exact symbol, I'm gonna fuck it up. I know it. I'm very, very clumsy, and especially when I've not had a good night's sleep, it's ripe for fuckery. And I mean, realistically, I think whatever this LARP line is that I draw back from September, I drew this back in September, I think that's generally going to play out here. Maybe it's a little bit higher than what I should have it, but. And sorry, I'm not saying that it's actually going to break down like that last part said, but something like this still in the short term is more likely, just sideways and more sideways. And I do suspect that in the short term, you probably do see, your November lows retested or very, very close to it. Should be a bounce around there. But other than that, I don't really have strong opinions on something like this. As far as your range goes, your range highs are all the way up here at close to 16 cents. Your range lows are all the way down here, close to a little over, under 7 cents. You're a little bit closer to the range lows. I do suspect that you will continue to come closer to those range lows, but I'd be expecting a bounce off of this region here and then come back to it later. Long-term look, monthly. I mean, you do have a reversal here. You have higher low, higher high, higher low again. So I would favor the trend long term to continue up, but that doesn't mean that it can't, come down short term. And if it does break below about 6 cents, then this thing's fucked for a very long time, probably forever. I shouldn't say forever, but close to that, like 1 minus forever. All right. Tesla on the weekly, please, says Ina Marie. Okay, Tesla, TSLA. Let's see what this one's doing. Wow. Look at that wick to end off the year. But even despite that wick, this one did still close, I believe, on new all-time highs. Did it? Let's actually see. I want to see it above the wick high from November of 2021. No, it did not. It closed below. Okay, that makes things a lot more difficult. Looking at Tesla right here, I mean, it hit the 1272 at 490 and coming back down. I think that this one comes down a lot more, honestly. I think it comes down to like 350, maybe 310, 320, and tries for a higher low there. Is that bearish long term? I mean, it's not necessarily bearish long term, but it is corrective in the short and medium term. So yeah, I'd have to say this one very likely does come down here. But I'd still be on higher low watch, maybe even low 300s. I mean, this thing can move, as you know. All right. Lucas says, wrong beam, sir. Happy New Year's, the Dirty Bulls. Give me the fucking ticker, sir. Give me the exact ticker and I can look at it. Big Bull says SPX USD. Okay. SPX. All right. Interesting one. Actually, really good. Really fucking good. This thing might even make new all-time highs today. The trend is your friend. Yes, it's very likely a meme. Yes, it's probably highly questionable as to its long-term goals. But as far as charts goes, wouldn't be surprised to see this one retest a buck. Probably make new highs relatively soon. I'm actually curious. What is the market cap for something like this? What is it? SPX. Okay. Is this SPX 6900? No, this is SPX. This is symbol SPX. What the fuck is SPX? It's okay. It's what? I don't understand. Okay. I think I found it. I don't know. Maybe I put that one on my list for later. All right. Back on to the comments here. Let's see what else we got. We have Mr. XRen. He's looking at JD stock. Okay, let's check it out. Symbol JD on NAS. And what do we have here? We have a lower high. in a series of lower highs in a very long-term downtrend that's been going on since 2021 with hidden bearish divergence coming off of this last rejective high. I think this one's coming all the way back down below $30, man, probably closer to 27-ish region. Yeah, bad. Looks like a shitcoin, honestly. Literally looks like a shitcoin. Tabin says, howdy, sir. CD Project. Yeah, let's look at this one. They made the Witcher, one of the best video games of all time. CD Project. Yes, there we go. It's on some sort of Polish exchange, I guess. Good. Actually quite good. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one move up towards 250 sometime this year. I like the reversal here on the monthly. Got higher highs, higher lows. Very likely does at minimum test the next range highs, which is, yeah, about 200, 250-ish region. Sorry, low 200s to 250-ish region. I'd say probably closer to 250, honestly. And from there, I mean, this looks like a one massive reaccumulation to me. Obviously, you'd like to see a closure above 250. At that point, this thing's very likely to retest prior all-time highs. At some point, I mean, it's going to take its time, obviously. This is a monthly look, you know? But yeah. Any hopes for the future, assuming Siri won't be some sex-obsessed gay transitor? Well, she's also gonna have an OnlyFans as well, where she shows off her fucking rainbow twat. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good question, but it seems to me like the woke stuff is on its way out. I think people are done with it. I think people are done with it. I think at this point with the woke stuff, people mostly just say, or at least what I say in my head is, shut up and fuck you and just stop it. Don't want to do that anymore. Joey Burden says C pool 4 hour and daily. Happy New Year to you, sir, as well. C pool.
Someone says no beam ticker is beam. A beam is beam.
Oh, like an actual stock. All right, C pool. Another one that does actually have a much different look than many of the things that we've seen. This one does have the monthly uptrend, does have higher highs, higher lows. I do think that you could see, you know, a short-term correction back down to like 35 cents, but I think that this one tries higher in Q1 of this year, closer to 90 cents, maybe even a buck. All right, we'll look at Beam. So it's literally just this Beam Therapeutics. He said it was just Beam, right?
Beam and beam is beam X.
It's Beam X. Okay, so the real ticker is Beam X. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Like, can you... The directions are this. Give me the exact fucking symbol. If you don't do that, I'm gonna fuck it up. It's just, it's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. All right. I mean, this thing, you know, already retested that high, sold off pretty hard from it. I think that this thing comes lower, probably close to below 2 cents. Probably below 2 cents.
Is helpful?
No, it's not. I don't care. Yeah, short term, I think it comes down. Medium term, I think it comes down. Other than that, I don't have strong opinions, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing trading back down around like 1.5 cents, honestly. Yeah, to be honest, I really wouldn't at some point this year, but there's going to be bounces along the way, of course. All right, what else we got? We have Jovan King. He says ABT arc block. Okay, ABT arc block. Okay, let's see. Thank you for giving the ticker, by the way. Gate.io, the Gate exchange. Weird chart here. This is a monthly. It's been around for a long time, since 2018. Holy shit. It's one of the most long-term charts we've seen today for all of the shitcoins. Trying to find something that's obvious. Okay, so the obvious thing is that your weekly range low. Okay, let's make this for the weekly. Weekly range low coming in around basically a buck, just above a buck. Weekly range high coming in around 230-ish region. It's right in the middle of there. To me, that's always a no trade zone. Of course, above 230, this thing's going to very likely retest prior highs, maybe just make new all-time highs. I mean, this has a fucking super weird chart, by the way. If it does break below a buck, I mean, this thing's going to get fucking shredded down, probably even below 50 cents if that happens. But I would not underestimate the ability of this thing to trade sideways for a very prolonged time. Short term, I think it bounces here. I think you see something like this. You know, short term bounce, carries on sideways, and then hopefully for your sake, it breaks back above 230. Something like that. All right. Okay. Mac O'Mac says, just to let you know, it was the right ticker, RAI. There is two of you. Look. Okay, so it was the right ticker, RAI. Yeah. Wait. I don't even know if I understand what you're saying. What you're saying, to be honest. Maybe I'm redacted. It's possible that I'm lobotomized. TJ says, what would you imagine having a higher ROI, holding Solana you bought at $13 for the next 3 to 4 months, or getting your God bots and rolling with that? Well, I mean, let me look at Solana again. I just want to look at it, not because it actually matters towards this conversation, but I mean, if Solana breaks down here, then obviously, trading is going to be your best bet, because holding is not going to make you any more money, obviously. You bought at $13, you're like 15x up. I mean, that's a fucking good trade, man. Look, I think, like I said earlier, if you break back down below this low from middle of December and close, especially a weekly below there, like, kiss your upside hopes goodbye for a very long time. And that would definitely take you out like the next 3 to 4 months, as you're looking at. As far as the bots go, I'm guessing you're talking about the Quant Prime service over here. By the way, we will do a sale. I'm just waiting for Monday. We'll start it on Monday. I think that's just a better day for many people to kind of get the word out and whatnot. Because I was a little bit quieter about the past sale, but this next one will be the last sale for quite some time, a few months at least. So yeah, but as far as that goes, look, with bots, you can make money, you can also lose money, of course. It's not a given, it's not a guarantee. Of course, in the Discord, we have the quant library, we have a whole team of people to help you out if you get stuck in some way. But at the end of the day, you will need to be the one who actually is programming. I mean, one, for legal reasons, because we can't actually manage your money, and two, while we do give out what I want to call this, like, strategy templates in the quant library, it is expected that you're going to iterate off of that. So you got to have your own ideas. So if you don't have your own ideas, it's probably not a good do. But if you do have your own ideas and you really just lack in the execution part, and like the systemization part and the sustainability part, then that's when it's, that's when I see people do extremely well. So yeah. Anyways, moving on, we have Couch Commander. He has left a super chat, but no comment. All right. Well, appreciate that, man. But feel free to have a comment next time. Big Bull is back. He's looking at Giga. Okay. This is the Giga Chad. Giga Chad. Okay. Actually, very good here. One of the better charts we've seen today, or amongst the best charts. This is a very interesting day because we've seen many charts that look obviously fucking bearish, and we've also seen many charts that look obviously bullish. This one would be on the obviously bullish side of things, and I would say you're very likely to retest whatever this high was here, about 7.8 cents. Close the daily above there, and this thing is, I mean, it's obviously on new optimize already, but this is a variation of like a fucked up W formation here. Yep, let me just get it right. So there is an implied target to be made off this. Let me actually do it on linear scale. Sorry, this is going to be like way too big. Yeah, okay, it's definitely not going to be whatever that was going to show, but perhaps this will be a little bit more accurate, if anything. But if it does break and close above there, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing trading above 10 cents, closer to 11, 12 cents, actually. So yeah, very, very interesting, man. Ooh, it's a good one. All right. Dr. Checkmate says Tesla daily weekly. We actually already looked at that one. I didn't look at the daily time frame though, so we'll go down to the daily. Down. I think this one still comes down to 350. maybe even lower over time towards like 310, 320. But I do think at minimum you're going to see 350 before a bounce attempt. Anderson77 says, can't wait till you sexy kids get to Florida. 2 a.m. is brutal. Man, that is one of the big reasons why we really want to go back to the U.S. is just for the streaming times. Like if we're in the U.S. time zone, I'm probably just going to end up doing a lot of live streams just because it's fucking fun as hell. and that's where most people are as well. But it'll kind of suck for the European people because, well, I guess it won't be that bad because it'll still happen during your day hours. It'll just be bad for the Asians or the Asian time zone. The Europores, yeah, the Europores get fucked no matter what, no matter where we go. Anyways, you're looking at XRP 4-hour and daily. All right, let's check it out. XRPP holding up. I mean, look, this is not on like the strong side of the of the spectrum, but it's holding up relatively strong in the short term compared to most things that we've seen. Still though, I don't know how much I trust this one right here, being that it is XRP after all. See what the monthly closed like. Wow. I do think you will see a correction below $2. Maybe close to like 170, 180-ish region. For your sake, I hope it bounces bigly there. Big time there. Short term, daily, does this one try for a bounce in the short term here? Probably yes. I wouldn't be super surprised if it tried to bounce maybe back around 235 or so, but I do think that bounce will fail, and inevitably you will break below $2 and come back down somewhere around 185. I don't know how well the 5 and 21 exponential moving average cross work on XRP. I haven't done the back testing there. I've only done it for Bitcoin, but technically probably should be looking for a target down around there. It's just, I'm kind of looking at this one as maybe likely to bounce or try for a bounce first. Just any bounce that fails to reclaim like $2.50 is just that, bounce and roll over. So yeah. And maybe we go to the 4-hour as well. I mean, it is a downtrend here. It's just, you can bounce a little bit more and still have another lower high. It's kind of what I'm looking at right there. Joey Burden says, Giga 4-hour daily. We literally just looked at that. So all good. And lobotomized meant SPX 6900. We can look at that. 69. Hundo, the SPX chart. It's the chart of SPX. Also, it's pretty much the same chart as what we looked at. I guess it is the same chart, actually. Yeah. Look good. All right. Fill my water, woman. And make it snappy. Chop, chop. All right. Big Bull says ENA USD, good around 70 cents. Let's see. That's how we do things around here. Okay. No female rights. Bad. I do think you will come down somewhere around 70, 75 cents. I do think there will be a bounce there, but this is a chart that this is like a chart archetype that I see very often in cryptocurrency land from cycle to cycle, where you have your first cycle, boom, big high, come down, pop back up somewhere around that prior high, but sell back down, and then get another pop and sell all the way back down again. Wouldn't be surprised to see this thing down around like 40, 50 cents on it, honestly.
Make it snappy.
Keto cell screen. Yes. That's the snapping. Thank you. But yeah, I wouldn't say that it's blindly good at 70 cents. I think that you will see it down around there and you will see a bounce from there, but I wouldn't just blindly say that bounce is going to bring you back up towards, this 120, 130-ish region. Martin Hunt, he's back. He's looking at PP on the 4-hour and daily. Okay. I need to go Pepe. Let's see. Okay, another shitcoin meme that actually has an uptrend still intact on the higher term timeframes, which is something that many legitimate coins do not have. Okay, I need to redo this chart. It is still it is valid. It's too fucking convoluted here. All right. Where's your low side of the range? Right here, about 16,500, whatever the fuck number that is. Where's the high side of your range? I'll be right around here, 23,300. You're right in the middle of it. I do think that this one will continue sideways and probably test the top side of it. The question is, does it actually break and close above there? If it does, all right, retest the prior all-time high, probably makes new all-time highs. If you get rejected there, come all the way back down. I'd still be looking for a bounce off this region, but I guess I would get bearish if it does close below your December 19th low. Until that happens, though, I should be looking at this should be looking at this here as reaccumulation until that happens. The long-term trend has actually been decent, albeit very, very fickle sometimes. Anyways, let's see, or let's actually go to the 4 hour. You asked about the 4 hour as well. 4 hour short term probably comes back down a little bit, closer to like 19,000 or so. Short-term range is this top side right there. Just hit the top side. Gonna very likely pull back from there to the middle of the range, I would imagine. Thinking says memes AI. They're running out of names for these things. I need to make a new shitcoin. What should we call it? Memes AI. No problem, sir. It's okay here. Compared to most things that we've seen today, I do think that this one will probably test somewhere around 7.5 cents or so. Okay, we can get rid of one of these. Just don't need two, obviously. What time frame? Oh, but this is a 4 hour time frame. Okay, this is very, very new. Yeah, daily time frame. Yeah, I do think that you test somewhere around 7.5 to 8 cents or so. If you start to see this one close above 8 cents on a daily time frame, then maybe it does run towards these prior highs, but I'm always a little bit skeptical when I see something that's this new and also obviously a highly esteemed meme. So yeah, I do think in the short term you will test up though. So yeah. All right. Scram says Krown coin. Let's rug it. Maybe not. Maybe we don't do that actually. Maybe I don't want my name to be on a scam coin. Hugo E says, hey, sir, can you look at Litecoin weekly and monthly? Sure. LTC, USD. Where's my light derps? My light derps and my heavy derps. All right. Bad as always. Look, do I think it's going to work? Do I think it's going to move up here? Yeah, I do. Do I think it's going to correct first, maybe down to like 93? Probably, yeah. But it's in a pretty tight range here on the week. It's actually not that tight anymore, but range highs, range lows, you just test the range high, pulling back from there. Again, very, very common. And I do think that it will reach a little bit lower, maybe even into the 70s. But should get another try to the upside. Despite this thing being more or less a failure long term in terms of like actual good returns, it does have higher lows. So I would be expecting it to at least hold that. So on any move down here, I would be looking for that to get picked up. But is it going to break back above 150? It's pretty fucking far away here. I guess if it does, like that's where it becomes a more obvious call towards like 250 to even $300. But until then, it's hard to love something or hate something when it's in the middle of a long-term range. That's a monthly time frame. It's literally been in this range since 2022. It's effectively been in this range since 2018, honestly, with just a few deviations from it. Few short-lived deviations from it. All right. Let's see. We got Avarc. He's looking at Vuzi. V-U-Z-I. Okay. Not on TradingView, sir. Unless if it's a stock. Maybe it's a stock. Maybe it's this thing. Should also specify if it's a stock, because that also makes it easier. But also, might as well be a crypto. It has such a shitty chart. Wow. Lower lows and lower highs the whole way through. It did just have a nice little pop up here in December, obviously, but I'd just be looking for lower highs. Putting in a lower high at $4.50 is, that's definitely yes, the weekly does have a lower high here. Yeah. Weekly extremes here on volatility, hidden bearish divergence, like fucking crazy, going all the way back to July. I think this one comes down 235, probably just continues on with the general trend long term. very bad. Just my opinion, but I will be wrong. Hey, I will be massively wrong if it even just trades above the current December high. If it even just trades above there, then this thing can rally, I guess, towards like $10. But I just think that that's a lot less likely to happen personally. Thinking says, Happy New Year, Krown. Hey, thanks, man. And Happy New Year to you as well, sir. I appreciate that. Joey Burden says, C Hex. Oh no. Is this what I think it is? No, it's checks. Chintai Network. All right. It's a new one. Very toppy here. You got the herp and derp pattern as well. A little bit weaker, a little bit more slumpy, I guess, than Bitcoin. Still, though, 48 cents is the kind of line in the sand. Below there on a daily closing basis, expect this thing to come down, I'd say significantly, like another 20% or so. Yeah, about 20% to maybe 38-ish region. Maybe even a little bit lower than that, but yeah, very bearish here as long as you're below this last sort of rejective high at about 68 cents. So again, even in the short term, like it could theoretically rally here, but it's just lower highs the whole way through, especially below 60 cents, let alone 68 cents. So, long term, it actually does have this does not have long term. It's been around for less than a year. Yeah, if I had to call it, man, I think this one comes down, and I actually probably do think that it does come down, into the upper 30s. But you're looking at like a 4 hour. Yeah, even the 4. I mean, just follow the trend, man. Follow the trend. Maybe get one more bounce off of this last low, on the range lows, but slower highs the whole way through. If it does want to put in another lower high, 60 cents looks good to me. All right. We have Swiss Candy. He says Kimbo. Kimbo on AVAX. Okay. Is this like Kimbo Slice? Does anyone even remember who Kimbo Slice is? Wow. Very bad. Very, very bad. This one decided to break down before everything else. It's front running the breakdown. Not only do I think it's going to retest your prior, basically all-time lows at 5,300, I think it's probably going to just make new all-time lows from there, to be honest. And you know what? For that reason, we will save the big red firework button for your asshole. Whoops. Hold on. The sound wasn't on. All right. 1, 2, 3. Fuck you! Not fuck you, but fuck the chart, man. It's very bad. Very, very bad chart. Ugly as fuck. All right. Alex Hay says, Happy New Year, sirs. Happy New Year to you as well. Long-time watcher, first-time super visitor. Awesome, man. DJTA. Is this a crypto or... I'm guessing it's actually, yeah, I'm guessing it's an actual thing. So you're looking at Dow Jones here. Oh, wow. I can't look at it I can't even look at it with my normal charts. Okay. So is this like the S&P weighted with the Dow Jones? Huh. Actually, I've never even looked at this, to be honest. Interesting. I'd like to look at like both of these things, on their own merits, because I'm a little bit flying blind here, but with a line chart, at least you still have trend. Obviously, this is a major high in here, major bearish divergence. So I do think overall, this one will find its way lower. There's going to be bounces along the way, maybe another bounce off of like 15,500. But any bounce that fails to reclaim 17 is just that, a bounce before a very likely movement its way lower in this overall corrective period. Still long-term trend to the upside remains intact, obviously. So not like bearish on it, but I do think it can come down like significantly here and put in another higher low and then try again to the upside. Zen626 says, Hey, Krown, thanks for everything. What have I done? All good, man. Drift on the daily and weekly, please. Thinks it's one of the strong ones. All right, let's check it out. If it's strong, it should be obvious. So we shall see. It's better than most things we've seen. Yeah, when we go to the daily, I would say it's on the stronger side of the equation. Again, very, very new here, less than a year of history, but even then, it more importantly than anything, in the short term, it's moving up. Strong things in the short term are moving up. Even the daily jewel is giving you another signal right here, actually, to the upside. So I do think that this one will work its way back up towards like 180 or so. That is kind of like your range high here, right? 180 to 195 regions, your range highs. I do think that you'll find your way somewhere around there on this current rally. Daily Jewel actually does say it might even have a real chance to actually break out above there. If you do that, then should retest this wick high and maybe make new all-time highs, or maybe make new highs above there. But one thing before the next, obviously, would like to see it again clear above this region and close above this region. All right. But yeah, I would say it's on the stronger side. So yeah, I'd agree with you. All right, Jovan King says, "Good sir, can you look at Turbo? It's a meme, weekly and monthly." Really, it's a meme? Here's weekly, here's monthly. We looked at it. That's enough. No. I do think that this one is toppy here, man. While it did have a pretty good December, I do think that this one is topping here for a while. When just as like kind of like a general market thing, whenever you see three kind of like slightly higher peaks like this alongside lower highs on the weekly RSI, especially, or this is a 10-day RSI. I'm guessing the weekly is a little bit worse, actually. Yeah. You know, a lot of these are going to be major highs for a while. You might get one more test around these highs, like 1 to 1 spot 2 cent region, somewhere around there. But I do think that's still going to be very likely, you know, a high region before it does come down and set in like a major higher low on the higher term time frames. So, you know, maybe even already got that rally right here. I mean, that was like 1 spot 2 cents. So could be it, but you know, maybe it tries for another bounce. Then I'd kind of expect it to come down, and that's where I'd want to see it set in a higher low. If it is going to be good long term, and maybe that even comes down closer to like 0.6 of a cent or so. You know, I don't like these massive wicks to the upside here, but you know, it is probably an illiquid shitcoin, so I guess you kind of have to expect that, but that'd be my general disposition. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see this thing back down around like 0.6 of a cent before correction is over. But again, I can be very much wrong on that. You'll know that I'm wrong on that if it does move basically back above 1 spot 2 cents. Like, I know that's not super helpful, but it's the best that I can do on something like this. I'm getting a lot of toppy signals right here, which makes me very hesitant to be like just blindly bullish on this before looking for the next major higher low. All right. We have Precious. He has a super chat, but no message. So maybe, where is it? Show it to me now. I found it. Super chat didn't show. Congratulations, Krown. I was your 10,000th-ish subscriber, and now we've 20x'd. Holy shit. Holy shit, man. That is actually crazy. Came to learn TA, stayed to learn how to talk to women. That's right. We are now a pickup in game channel. Have you heard of negging? That's awesome, man. That's super fucking cool. But I'm guessing you had a different name before, because I recognize your avatar, but I don't recognize your name. And I recognize, I think, just about anyone who has somewhat actively or consistently commented on this channel over any period of time. I remember, I think just about everyone. Senor Bob says, reverse osmosis water. Yeah. We actually don't even need that in Finland. It's all fucking good. But I suppose when we do go to America, we will need something like that, because I'm not drinking out of these fucking plastic bottles no more, getting plastic all on my balls. I won't do it. I won't be doing it. Let me see. All right. How long have we been on here? How long have we been on? Have we been on for too long? No, it's still a little bit less than a couple hours. I'll read some of the regular comments as well. I'm seeing no way. Sir, I'm reading the bottom of the comments right now, ma'am. Did he say pegging or negging? Depends. It depends on your sexual orientation, actually. The testicle plastics are a real issue. I mean, for all of the jokes, it actually does seem to be a real issue. It really does. I think that that's probably driving like this sort of weird feminization that we have kind of in our society, is that, you know, a lot of the environmental sort of, I guess, intoxicants, all of this plastic around us and shit like that, and just the way that our food is generally not prepared very, very well, and has all sorts of hormone disrupting things going on. It seems to me like that's probably why we've seen an inversion where it's too much soy, very, very soy. Where like women almost want to act like men and men want to act like women. It's a very weird inversion. Very, very pronounced here in Finland, by the way, I will say. I mean, Jesus Christ. Like when you go to the gym, there's the girls are the only ones who are in the squat racks, like doing heavy lifting and like really into their fitness apparently. And the guys, like, they don't even really go there, to be honest. But they're runners, I'm a runner. I run. Look, if you're a runner, I'm not talking shit to you. I just think it's funny, okay? I just think it's funny. I do like running. I actually like sprinting a lot more, though. Sprinting is fun. All right. Couch Commander says, give us the Kekek chart. Play us the tune. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun with your cryptos. Well, let's see. I'm actually still following it on... Oh, this is a good one. I'm actually still following it on Twitter. Wow.
Have you ever wondered about this particular thing?
This is good. I might need to get back in.
Because it turns out that thing is real.
Oh my god.
Someone has to stop this thing. And that someone is you.
You didn't think it would be that easy, did you?
Some good moves there. They're totally blue balling us with the fucking tunes right now, though.
I'm not the person who can stop this thing.
You are that person. Now take my hand!
It's him. All right, let's play the real tune. And let's look at the chart. It's not good, man. It's not good. Hey, what's going on here with my dwarf? What happened? What happened to my dwarf? Oh my god, it's gone for the full retrace. It's topped out for forever. It'll never be going up again. It's only 84% down, so it's not that bad, I guess. You've been listening to too much Andrew Tate. Actually, I don't listen to him at all, man. I actually really don't like him. I think people who generally listen to him have like some sort of weird daddy issues.
Cancelled real fast. What's what you say?
Okay, you are obviously lobotomized, and hopefully that's a joke. But if it's not, then holy shit, man, you're an idiot. All right. Enigma says, can you check out Nero Octo? Nero Octo Derpo. All right. I think this one, again, we've seen a lot of these like 3 peak charts here. Look, you might get a bounce. It might even bounce up to wherever the hell this is, right? Okay, not this one, but this one right here. You might bounce somewhere around there, but to me, that's going to be your next lower high, man. This thing is topped out for a very long time. Monthly is a clear reversal here. I mean, it never really even had like a real uptrend, but could easily bounce up again somewhere around here. And I think that you probably might even do that, but over the next few months, you're going to see this thing back down around the lows, maybe even new lows. I do think. Obviously, I can be massively wrong about these things. I mean, it is a rather new chart. Kind of, yeah. It's been around since September, so not that new, but certainly not that old. Short term, I think you try for a bounce, but I think that's your next lower high. Miggy2J says, off topic, Krown, but what do you think about the bro split versus like a push pull leg routine? What do you think is the best routine for getting jacked? I made the best gains, honestly, doing the bro split. Just one body part every day and absolutely fucking frying it. But that was when I was younger and I could recover from it and I could do like 5, 6, even 7 workouts in a week. Nowadays, when I go like super hard at the gym, which is not really just weights, but also, you know, cardio shit as well, like sprinting and in boxing and whatnot. It takes me too long to recover. It takes me like a day or two to really recover. So I can't blast a body part, you know, as hard as I used to. And so now I do more of like a push pull split thing, but I don't really think I'm making like gains anymore, to be honest. I've also been weightlifting for like ever since I was, like 15 years, I guess. Yeah, 15, 16 years now. So I don't really know how many more gains I'm going to make anyways. Anyways, Swiss Candy says, thanks. What about our Arena on AVAX? Arena on AVAX. Okay. I don't know. I guess is it this thing? Sorry. Did I spell it right? Arena. Yes. Arena. I don't think it's on TradingView Mountain, unless if it's this thing, but this is area. Yeah, this is not Arena. This is area. Arena. Yeah, that's area. I guess I can look at it. Maybe it's this thing, but if it is this thing, it's terrible. It's bad. It's just going down. But I suspect that it's probably not the tick doesn't fully match up, and it sounds like it's probably not a TradingView. John Dude says, Happy New Year. Keep pushing for the best in 2025. Fuck yeah, man. That's what we do here. Or that's at least the idea of what to do. Taint did nothing wrong. Taint? Who's Taint? Who's Taint and what's Taint? How about Chainlink, or how about SPX 6900? SPX 69. I think we looked at this one a few times already, actually. No, this is a different chart here. It's bullish, obviously. In fact, one of the better charts that we've seen all day. Not a whole hell of a lot of history, though. So I'm guessing something else going on there, but we did look at it a couple times earlier, I believe. And I think the symbol for more history is this one, SPX. Yeah. I think that this one's going to retest around the prior all-time highs, maybe pull back a little bit from there, but this thing's poised to actually break to new all-time highs. This is actually quite good. Then again, it is a meme, so it can't just fall apart out of nowhere, but as long as it's above basically yesterday's low, I think that this one tries for some upside and probably does try for a legitimate breakout. Andrew Taint. Okay, I guess I didn't catch that one. WNC says he has a super chat, but Elsa missed it, so he says fuck you. So she says never.
Is it? Can you ask? Is it the X on ASX?
Is it on ASX? Can you just repost it and like make it a lot easier, please? Instead of like having to try to guess or something like that. Elsa says, okay, gay boy. TJ says, are you going to play PoE 2? Actually, I have been playing it. I completed it. No, I didn't. I guess you can't really complete it, but I played through all of the campaign as a Frost Mage, a very powerful Frost Mage, I should add. And it was pretty fun, man. It was pretty damn fun. But after playing through the campaign once, I don't really want to play anymore. I tried making a Necromancer type or Summoner type person, and it did not... I don't know. It wasn't that fun, honestly. But the mage was super fucking fun. Anyways, where is it? Okay. AXE. Okay. AXE on ASX. This thingy. Okay. Very big rally here. Retesting your highs from March of this year. Is it going to actually reverse? Well, whenever I see a chart like this where it goes straight down for forever and then it gets these massive pops, but they don't have a higher low in first on, in this case, the weekly time frame, I'm always skeptical of it. So I would say while it does have the potential to revert, or sorry, to reverse into like a real uptrend here, I wouldn't even consider it as a possibility as long as it's below 64 cents. If and when it does trade up to 64 cents and close somewhere around there and then come down and set in a higher low, that's where I'd say, hey, this thing actually is bullish and is reversing and is going to have a nice sustained upside move. But this is a thing that's only gone down since 2021, so I'm very hesitant to say that this is actually it. The monthly looks like it very well could be it, because you do see bullish divergence on monthly RSI, monthly Joule also turning up as well. But my personal rule is that I don't treat it like that until it proves it. So I'd be a little bit late to the party, but if it does reclaim this region and does set in a higher low, it probably does trade back up closer to $1. So yeah. All right, we've done SPX 6900 a million fucking times. Well, whatever. I'm gonna blame you anyways. Kratos stock. Okay, Kratos stock. I'm guessing it's this one. Trades on NAS. Okay, I've charted it like probably 4 years ago, so let's maybe do a new one. And holy shit, really bad chart long term. Wow, what happened here? They're a defense stock. They must not be very good at what they do. I don't fucking know, man. I mean, you do have a potential for a monthly reversal here. You do have a higher low in, yes. So where would your last lower high be? Will it be right around 33, 34 bucks? If you can trade and close a monthly above $33, I'd say that the reversal is real, and this thing could like really trade up towards 80, 90, maybe even $100. But until then, it's kind of like the last chart. It's like I'm very hesitant to call a reversal on something that's never really had a real reversal. So yeah, and I do think that you will come back down from these highs here. Maybe it spikes a little bit higher, closer to $30 first, but I do think that it will come back down. And if it is going to be bullish, you're going to see something like this: get like a quick move up, boom, come back down and set in a higher low. Hopefully anywhere above like 16, $17 would look good, and then try for like a real breakout to the upside. But until then, it's a weird one to me. So I actually don't feel that confident, but I could just as easily call like a major high right here as I could call for the potential for a real mega reversal, because you do have a quarterly higher low in as well. I mean, that is significant. So yeah, I'd give it a chance, honestly, but needs to prove itself above 33. That's the line in the sand, at least for myself. All right, John Dude says AMD on quarterly time frame. Is it fuck or not on this bad boy? Let's see. On this bad boy. Let me read the rest of this as well. Also, general thoughts on the stock market. As everyone is saying, it's going to be a bad 2025. I think it's going to open up with a downturn in 2025, but it's a long year, man. It's a very long year. I wouldn't be surprised to see lows come early on within the year and then rally from there and put in a major high, like, mid to late of the year, something like that. But I do think that the stock market is generally topping, this next year. But yeah, looking at AMD, again, major top right here, quarterly time frame. Bearish divergence on that, very likely at minimum comes back down to about $100. I do think that you're going to get another bounce there. I don't think that bounce is going to be reversal. I do think that this one will come down at some point to 75. This is obviously a quarterly chart, so this can take like years, honestly. But in the short term, yeah, very likely down to like 105, 110 region. Try for a bounce there. Put in another lower high on that bounce, and then come lower overall. So perhaps something like this, basically. Boom, boom, boom. If we're going to do the LARP lines, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Maybe not this low, but you get the idea. Yeah, I think that this corrective period could take a long time, honestly. Do you play FIFA? No, I am straight, actually. Zen, sorry, I'm kidding, man. I'm just making a joke. But in America, we hate soccer, and honestly, that's the way it's supposed to be. Zen626 says, cloud on the daily looks like bottoming volume. What do you think? I'm guessing this is a stock, or is it a crypto? No, it's probably crypto, because there is a crypto named Cloud. Cloudcoin. Is this bottoming volume? No. I'm not even looking at volume. I can tell you it's not bottoming volume. There's no such thing as bottoming volume on something that really has only ever gone down. And again, this is log scale. This is, okay, log and regular, not that different, but it's down 73.5%. I do think that you can bounce significantly from here. So you probably have a low, but that low does not necessarily mean that it's going to just rocket its way to new all-time highs or nothing like that. I think you probably bounce a little bit more, maybe closer to like 30, 35 cents, and then probably roll over again. But yeah, take that as you will, I suppose. All right, so Arena is on deck screener. We don't do that, so we will do cock. We'll do cock. I actually don't know why people don't listen to that. It's like, I'm not going to fucking Dex tools. I don't have my usual tools there, and I don't know if it's on Dex tools. It probably doesn't even have enough history, anyways. So it's not really worth me looking at because I'm not going to have a good idea, anyways. Looking at cock, bad. Ranging on the lows, sold off from the range highs, coming back down to the range lows. I think it comes a little bit closer to the range lows before it tries for another anemic bounce. Maybe somewhere closer to like your November lows, and then tries for a bounce, something like this. And hopefully for your sake, it breaks out to the upside instead of to the downside. But I would hold my breath personally, but that's just me. All right. I think maybe that's where we're going to end it for today.
No, there's one more.
There's one more? Oh, we have Shayla Scott, and she has left no message.
She's been spamming Myro, so probably that.
Myro. M-Y-R-O.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what this thing is. Very bad. Jesus. Very similar to the last chart. Sold off on the prior range highs. Your prior breakdown region already on the range lows, so it's relatively weak. Now, do I think it's going to break down like exactly from here before a bounce? Probably not. It probably tries at least for a bounce from here, but you got lower highs the whole way through as long as you're below, especially like 12 cents. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this, and then probably does break down. But obviously I will be wrong if on this next bounce it actually does reclaim above about 12, 13 cents. If you see that, okay, there's hopium. But until then, I think at best you're going to be going sideways for a while. At worst, I think you bounce sideways and then down. And that's really all that I have to say about that. Yeah, I'm looking at the monthly. This is not like I'm more inclined to say monthly might even be down from here after a bounce towards like 8.5 cents. Yeah, not good. This one's topped out for a very, very long time. It's bad. Actually, okay, Panors, we'll do the last one for you. Also an OG of this channel. And he's asking about an OG coin. It's something that I forgot even existed, and we'll end on this one. This is Dash. God, this is what most shitcoins will end up looking like. Now on log scale, it looks. I mean, it's not that bad. It's only down 98.93%. That means, from current price to the prior all-time high, I only need 4,000% move. No problem. Hex does that in like a day. Looking at regular scale, I mean, here's the real chart. I think you will never see above this high ever again. Can it get pops here and there? Sure. Just like it did back on over here in 2021, but those are just lower highs in a series of lower highs before continuing to make new lower highs. And that is where we will end today. A very pleasurable and nice start to the year 2025. Was good, and that was interesting. We'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas as well.
Happy birthday.
And happy birthday. What the fuck? Happy birthday? All right. Happy birthday. All right. Well, signing off on that note, as always, I want to wish everyone the best of the best. It's been a fun stream. Apologies if I made any jokes that were offensive to people out there. It wasn't intended to be. It was just having a little bit of fun on the interwebs. And, if that's too much for you, then I don't know, just unsubscribe and dislike the video. And that's good enough. Anyways. Leave a comment as well. Let me know. Anyways, wishing everyone a happy start to your 2025, and that all of your hopes and dreams and wishes and everything else that you're playing with goes well as well. I always love that line. And everything else you're playing with. It's like, what the fuck did you say, Trump? And thank you to all of our moderators as well. I see Bear Nutrition in here, one of our unsung heroes, and Buddha Jesus clapped. All right. Wish everyone the best.